our office through DMD appropriated $450,000 for this project. So I know Tommy Boris and Jerry Worrell and the neighbors have been asking me for years, when is Gunnison going to get completed? Well, we are finally to that point today, and it's taken a lot of time, it's taken a lot of years, but I want to thank this community for their efforts in keeping my feet to the fire and making sure that we got this project done. The Gunnison was a temporary road. It was never intended to be a permanent road, so the city, nobody ever got to working on this for many years, but the residents didn't want that road to go away. So we are just very glad today that we're here today to make this area safe. And I know that the neighborhood was very concerned about a big dip in the ground. It was basically a very dangerous spot for young kids. And Tommy for many years told me, Ken, somebody's going to get seriously hurt. I said, Tommy, try to have a little bit of patience. We're going to get through this. And again, we are here today to finally get this project completed. I want to bring up Melissa from DMD for just a moment to say a few words about this project and the work that's being done. The project will be close to, estimated construction costs will be close to $400,000. And the important thing is we are putting people to work here in Albuquerque and in our community. I want to thank our contractors for each and every day coming out and doing their job and making Albuquerque a better place to live. I'd like to bring Melissa up just for a moment to say a few words.
Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you. So I just want to thank everyone who came out here today to celebrate this occasion. We are very excited to start this project. I just want to commend the neighborhood on their coordination with the city as well as their patience. Thank you very much. And you know, this project has been in development for a long time. We had coordination with the neighborhood, we had right-of-way concerns, but we finally started. We are estimating this project to be completed July 16th or midsummer. It's, like the councilor said, almost $400,000 in construction costs. The project was funded with quarter cent and GO bond funding. I want to thank my division manager, Ron Romero, and his staff for putting this project together, working with our consultants on the design. Thanks to DMD's Construction Services Division and Dave Harrison for their work and through the construction part of this. Thank you to my Deputy Director, Keith Reed, who helped also on this project. And I just want to say thank you to our contractor, who's Franklin's Earth Moving. We're hoping this project will go smoothly and be done in the estimated time frame. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Melissa. And Mayor Berry has apologized that he could not be here today. We changed one of the other news conferences, and this kind of was a conflict of interest for him. But I also want to personally thank Mayor Berry for his work in working with me on this project. Governmental agencies need to work together when it comes to these type of projects, and the representative from the AMAFCA board is Cynthia Borrejo, and she has done an excellent job in working with the city on the drainage issues, because we also need AMAFCA to work with us on these type of issues. So I'd like to bring Cynthia up for just a moment to say a few words.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to thank the neighborhood for being diligent and making sure that our councilor and AMAFCA and the city all work together. I want to thank Tommy Borsak and Jerry Worrell for being on us and being diligent about making sure that the west side is not a forgotten land. It is part of Albuquerque. And there are a lot of projects like this that need to get done on the outskirts of the city. I want to give you a little bit of background, but before I do, I also want to recognize Jerry Lovato, who's the executive director of AMAFCA, who also has helped make sure that this project is completed. A little bit of background about this area. Westland, which is now Western Albuquerque Land Holdings, went into an agreement with the city of Albuquerque in 1994, and there was a temporary drainage easement. AMAFCA has a drainage easement granted by Western Albuquerque Land Holdings for Ladera Dams 0 through 14. AMAFCA entered into an agreement with WAL and the city of Albuquerque, which allowed the temporary extension of Gunnison to Ladera Avenue between Ladera Dam 11 and 12. This is why the road is here today. This project will replace the temporary easement and align Gunnison to a permanent location. I just want to mention that there are two things that this will allow. It will allow for better flood control, maintenance access, and it will also allow for future possible paths for pedestrians. And I think that this is the kind of project that we need on the west side. Thank you, Councilor, for your work.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Appreciate it.
We have two past presidents of the Tres Volcanes Neighborhood Association and one current president of the West Side Coalition. And Jerry was the president of the Tres Volcanes Neighborhood Association when he moved into the community, as well as myself many years ago. He was my president, and this was always an issue. The word Gunnison came up many, many times, and I said, I promise you we will get it done. I didn't realize it was going to take this long, but thank you, Jerry. So I'd like to bring the current president for the West Side Coalition up to say a few words, and then he will be followed by Tommy Borst, and his wife, Patricia, will come up with him. She's not going to say anything, but I'd like to bring up Jerry first to say a few words.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jerry.
Just a few words. You've heard the word patience. You've heard the word diligence. I'm from Chicago. Tommy's from New York. We don't understand that word, okay? So when we moved here, Tommy, who is probably my favorite pit bull, when he locks onto your leg, he never lets go. So he never let this project go. And really what we're looking at here is the future of Albuquerque. When you say it's the neighborhood association working with the city councilor across the city to solve projects like this or problems like this. The problem was a hole. It was a danger to children. Cynthia mentioned some of the other benefits of this, but it really comes down to our elected officials working with the community, and it couldn't be better. But all the credit for this, in my mind, goes to Tommy Borst. So Tommy, it's yours.
I'd like to thank Ken. I'd also like to thank Elaine. Elaine answers the phone when I called her 100 times to try to get this moving along. So if it wasn't for Elaine, I'm sure it wouldn't have gotten done. So I wanted to thank Elaine for doing all the hard work and for Ken for backing her up. And we're very happy this is going to be a much safer road. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
Coming from Chicago and from New York, one of the words they did not know or understand was mañana. And sometimes in Albuquerque, it doesn't happen right away, but it'll happen tomorrow. I'd also want to thank Scott Howell and Kathleen Agar. I know Scott wanted to be here, but he was under the weather and said he didn't want to spread his joy of the flu that he's dealing with right now, so he apologized for not being here. But Kathleen, thank you for all your work and the work you guys have done on this project, because it takes a community to get these projects done. It just does not happen by itself. Also, I would like to bring up one more individual, and she said she didn't want to speak, but she is our current president of the Tres Volcanes Neighborhood Association, and she's done a remarkable job in staying involved in our community and keeping the neighbors engaged and involved. I'd like to bring up Donna Swanson to say a couple words. Donna? Yes, come on, Donna.
Thank you. I didn't want to say too much because I didn't have anything to do with this other than support, and these guys did a great job. Tommy, of course, was adamant that a child not be caught in some big mud pit. And so we're happy that this is happening, and thank everybody for their support, and thank these two guys. Thank Jerry and Tommy. Thank you.